Hello and welcome to a custom map cast. This time on South Alberserwad, we have VonIvan versus Talisman. Talisman in this west end on Soviets, running Tank Hunters, NKVD, and it doesn't matter the third one because he locked in NKVD straight away, and he is going to be running the 7% increased snare range on the RPG-43, the 2% faster between shots and reload on the conscripts, and the 4% increased pen on the T-3476s, and VonIvan does the same thing. He locks in the Goliaths because Goliaths are his best friend, and he is running the 3% increased reload, the 3% increased accuracy, and the 5% increased maximum movement speed for the Goliaths. For those of you who are unfamiliar with South Alberserwad, is from a previous season of the Seasonal Map Cup tournaments, and it was made by yours truly and VonIvan. And for those of you who do not know the territory layout, we have a cutoff in the south and the south for both of the fuels, cutoff in the north and the north for both of the munitions, with the VP straight down the middle, and a little asymmetrical, damaged, shelled, whatever you want to call it, building or town center in the middle here. We have our little church with the graveyard, a barn farmhouse, some more houses, a mechanic shop, being fought over as it controls some important resource for the late game war effort, or late war effort, as this is based off of a military operation that happened in the 1944. So Talisman going into cons, getting some sandbags built on his cutoff here, and then back capping into the fuel, whereas Von capped the fuel first and grabbed the territory points. So I want to talk about this a little bit. This gives him more resources overall in the long run by capping like that, as it takes longer to cap the fuel points than the territory points. So you might get the income from the munitions and the fuel a little bit faster, and this is really, if you want to go heavy into the munitions, this buys you a little bit more time, but this gives you far more fuel in the long run. So, and Talisman, honestly, with NKVD, he is looking to use munitions until he is blue in the face. So, outside of his normal strategy of going Molotovs almost as soon as he has the fourth squad out, sometimes even before healing, we'll see if that is the case through this, or if he's just going to save up for the recon and the fear propaganda and maybe some relief infantry. We'll see maybe a Brosras strat, as he is one of the people that helped test this way back when versus Fortune. That game was ridiculous, over an hour long, but he was using NKVD. But we'll see. Let's see if VonIvan can redeem himself. Engagement in the middle, conscripts. Look like they're winning this against these Volks, but two Volks might help iron that out. Stern Pioneers taking an engagement in the south. Meanwhile, up in the north, the Volk squad's getting sandwiched by combat engineers and cons. So Von will retreat and secede the north. In the middle here, yeah, he's just going to close the distance and try and take on both and get these cons the hell out of here. The cons dropping another model of those Volks as they move up. Fourth Volk squad coming out now. And there's the Overwatch flares. So his opponent knows exactly what he's playing into, as the flare is the only one doctrine that's able to use it in VonIvan's loadout, let alone the only doctrine that uses those flares to begin with, the early warning system. And the first truck coming out for VonIvan now, this is going to be battle group and maybe a 251. Stern Pioneers lose the engagement in the south to two sets of conscripts, so they will retreat on home, and those conscripts are running straight for that cutoff. Now, VonIvan looking to pay that forward, so they're going to trade cutoffs in the south. Both players are going to lose their fuel, and it looks like he's going to cap with the cheaper squad on the fuel point too and try and neutralize that. But we have an engagement up in the north, an early TM-35 from Talisman helping him win this engagement. The Volksgrenadiers meander right up onto it. They throw down the incendiary, and the combat engineers still look like they're going to lose this. And with a reinforcing squad of Volksgrenadiers, that might be a dead combat engineer squad. VonIvan doesn't even react towards it, but the Volksgrenadiers do pick up the kill, and the body floats right on into the water. The combat engineers no more, and that's a huge loss for Talisman, as that means he can't build any of his tech buildings and is forced to remake that combat engineer squad. Conscripts do get the Volk squad off of that fuel point, but the neutralization has happened in the South Volk squad versus a con squad on the wreckage of the Horsa glider. The secondary squad behind those Volks for VonIvan will get him to retreat. Conscripts trying to oorah off of here and away from the Stern Pioneers. Stern Pioneers pick up one model, but they oorah to get the better positioning advantage for themselves. So neither player getting a fuel income right now. VonIvan putting a little bit more pressure than his opponent, however, onto these fuel and these territory points. Another flare comes down. In the north, Volksgrenadiers grabbing up the munitions. And double munitions for VonIvan is actually very good, as he's going to want to make Goliaths, and double munitions income allows him to make Goliaths and STGs. So we'll see if that pays off. The last time we saw him go Goliaths left a horrible feeling in my gut, as it didn't really do what we wanted it to do. But conscripts engaging the Volks here. The Volks managed to drop a model as they close the distance, and it looks like the Volksgrenadiers will win this engagement. Right now, Talisman, the one with the fuel income, but the 251 is the choice now for VonIvan, the first one on the production line. Another combat engineer coming out, and it looks like Soviets on Talisman's side haven't even built the infantry company, or excuse me, not the infantry company, the support weapon or the special rifle, so no choices here. And 251 and then immediately a Goliath, so no STGs yet. Confident that his small child, as he calls it, the Goliath, will net him some sort of advantage. But Talisman really, really applying the pressure in the south on this cutoff and the fuel. And the RKS-3 squad, nice and close like that, will get the Volk squad to go home. Where's this little Goliath go? It's going to go up in the north, and this double munitions income, heading 48 munitions for VonIvan. The 251, however, will win him this engagement in the south. Back home, the secondary combat engineer squad that's needed the hazard removal gets the support weapon, and then is going to immediately build the tier 3, so the tank battalion command will be out, followed shortly by a T-70. No snares on these conscripts. Oh, no, he does have the snares. He won it nice and early, so immediate. As soon as he rolled down the road, he overextended a little bit, the oorah, and then throw on into it. A little annoying, but there's a 251's going to annihilate that old Belgian tractor and the wagon behind it. And that'll be the retreat from one con squad, but not the other. I didn't even realize that he had upgraded those. Did he go Molotovs? Actually, not opting to go Molotovs for a change, which is really interesting considering how often I've cast Talisman. He goes those early Molotovs like it's his job. So definitely reacting and reading into the situation that the 251 was going to come out soon. He's going to need that snare. RKS-3 squad trying to toast up these Volksgrenadiers and not really succeeding in doing so. Oorah again. His immediate snare again. And that's just going to cover his retreat path. And yeah, there he goes. So being a little bit annoying, but just getting the Stern Pioneers right back onto that. They will most likely have that 251 back on into them so they can cap up and repair at the same time for that little bit of efficiency. And this whole time, for about 4, maybe 3.5 minutes, double munitions income for VonIvan. So, is he getting the STGs yet? He can get it on one squad if he'd like, but this might be a double Goliath, and that Goliath doing a wheelie down that road. Where is he going to set it up on? He's going to try and sneak it down onto the cutoff, potentially, and this apple orchard. Let's see what he does. There's the tier 3 being built, and he's not in cover, so it's just out and about. Vaughn, please, there's so much cover here. How do you find the one spot that's not in cover? Please! We want to see the good old Goliath play, and there he goes. He's going to park it under the tree. Should cloak up now. No? Alright, putting it on the fence. There we go. Anyway, up in the north, munitions cut off being contested by VonIvan. And he's trying to be as cheeky as he can. Ooh, this Goliath. On the road, too, so that initial burst of speed will get him a lot of time here. And did a oh, I thought for a second there the conscript squad died, but no, they're just moving up together. And this takes away the munitions and the territory points, so buying a little bit of time, being a little annoying, but he does lose the south cutoff for the fuel, and there's a second Goliath. So Vaughn stuck in his ways. He's going to make these Goliaths work one way or another. Losing that fuel, definitely detrimental to Talisman, though. He's a good ways away from getting that T-70 out. With only 4 income, that means he's 2.5 minutes away from being able to get the T-70 until he gets these points connected back up. But once he gets it here, the fuel will equalize a little bit from the territory points. The smoke popped for the 251 to stop that snare from potentially coming in. The MG34 produced while everything else was going on. 2 sets of Volks. He was trying to hop into that barn house here, but he was cut off by some Volksgrenadiers occupying it, so that should be an incendiary. But, of course, since he's built so many damn Goliaths, there are 100 munitions each, he's not able to throw an incendiary into the house. So the conscripts are free to stay for now. Goliath setting up on this retreat path. Oh, on the attack ground, he's hunting. He wants it. The Goliath is hungry, and he detonates it, drops the ROKS-3 Combat Engineers, 2 whole models, but he was setting up for that. The decloak there, a little unfortunate, and there's that T-70. So, getting his cutoff back under control in South Alberserwad, but not exactly getting his fuel back in. Oh, here comes the Goliath again! And I can hear VonIvan's voice now. Oh, go, my child. He tries to move up on that. The conscript's in a really tough spot with his retreat path, sight blocked by this decrepit shed here, and he's moving up for it, but the conscripts from the base will go ahead and fire a few volleys into that, and the Goliath will go down. Volk's Grenadiers will assuredly lose this. He's going to keep them there as long as he can. It looks like a mine gets the snare on the 251 in the middle, but nothing there to capitalize on the kill. The T-70 is here, and if he knows that mine was hit, he's going to drive right into this. Volk squad did lose that engagement in the south, Roquette being produced, and nothing here to repair this 251, and he knows that was hit a mine. The T-70 went right for it, and that's going to be the 251 down. T-70 is going to pick up the easiest kill of its life. Mobile suppression platform lost for VonIvan now, and I bet he's really wishing that he had maybe STGs or maybe some incendiaries to get these squads a little bit further out into the map, as he's been being eaten up by these garrisons. Manpower usage being delayed as he doesn't have the munitions to continue to further push his advantage. But the Roquette is coming out now. T-70 going to take a few pot shots at these Volks. MG-34 hanging out inside the building, and he's going to ram into it, but it's not enough. Nowhere near. He's going to take another 2 or 3 shots onto that. The MG-34 is going to go around the right-hand side of the house and retreat on out. ROKS-3 Combat Engineers moving on through. The cutoff taken again by these STG Volks, finally getting STGs. It looks like he always goes into 2 Goliaths and then finally gets that DPS curve increased by the STGs being out. And conscripts dodge the incendiary. T-70 now looking to come down and contest potentially. Uncloaked Roquette just walking at these conscripts. Going to set up right in front of them and fire 1 shot. No, not even that, and retreat. T-70 could pick up this kill if he's unlucky along with those cons. Cons focusing it down too. And there goes Roquette, completely mismanaged by VonIvan, dies straight away. And the oorah from the conscripts. It's like, oh yeah, sure, I would love a 6-man free AT gun. Why, certainly. And yeah, huge loss. So that's the beginning of the end, most likely. It's funny as it is to say that. That's a huge loss for OKW. He's trying to focus it down with these Volks and the Stern Pioneers. Can he get the last model? He just needs to drop 1. It doesn't look like he can. And the T-70 is going to continue to bleed him. And he does. He drops it. But the Volks have to go home. And now the Stern... Oh, and they get wiped! They clump up around that Stern Pioneer! They all turn around and they run right into their comrade and get wiped! Oh, what could have been like a small little bit of hope, a little beacon of hope for what was a bad engagement and a misplacement of his Roquette turned into a double wipe. And that's going to be a stolen Roquette again because he's not going to be able to get to it. The T-70 is just going to sit there and guard it. Oh, unbelievable. I mean, he does have the tier 4 down. And another Goliath. Oh my god. He's sold on these Goliaths for sure. The Talisman with the Maxim on the cutoff behind the old tractor, firing into the conscript sandbag. The Volk's still here. I mean, he's delaying his opponent's tech. And by he, I mean VonIvan by a large amount. But this T-70 is just going to chew him up. T-70. Trying to get another wipe on these Volks. Thankfully for Von, misses twice. T-70 does fire that 1 shot, though, so he knows that Tier 4 is down, and he can't harass VonIvan's fuel anymore. So Von needs to play defensive. He needs to change his play style and adapt to this. Because if he continues to give wipes to Talisman, the manpower bleed will still put him behind. T-70 in the south now against the only SGG Volks. Where is this? Okay, the Goliath in the middle. Another Roquette queued up. Totally are fine with that. He's a good while away from that Panzer IV. But he needs to just slow down the game. However, with that tier 4 showing, I would not be surprised if Talisman tries to go into his own tier 4 ASAP. There comes the recon from the NKVD, so he'll get a little bit of information here. I'm curious to see if he uses the anti-aircraft mode. The PM-41 now smacking into this tier 4, and he does use the anti-aircraft mode. He's trying to shoot down the recon plane, and can he find it? He's gotten a few connections, but no pens, it looks like. Ridiculous. Don't worry, you have to pay for that. And, yep, he's not going to get it. PM-41 might even kill his tier 4 before too long. Volk Squad does hop into this building, though, and this is the lack of Molotovs here, so he's going to contest this a little bit. I'm almost curious to see where that T-70 is. There's the incendiary to get the PM-41 to pick up. He needs to hop back into this house. That Goliath could roll right down the road onto that PM-41 and remove it. Where is this little T-70 that could? Being repaired up in the north. Goliath sneaks up. Can he get it? Can he get it? Can he get a wipe? Oh, yes, he can. And just like that, the farmhouse and a few bodies go the way of the Goliath. It only took 300 munitions for that first squad wipe. So there we go. A little bit of a mental victory for VonIvan getting that wipe with the Goliath. Using the T-70 to cap now with a secure mode. All the flares giving all kinds of information to VonIvan. PM-41 still smacking into this tier 4. He's still a good amount away from getting the Panzer IV out. He's a solid minute away in fuel, and he doesn't have the manpower. He has to get this PM-41. He has to kill it. He's moving up with the Volks now. First shot, Raketin is here. If he could pick up the P-41 for himself, that would be a nice secure as well. And the Stern Pioneer is going to heal that up. So hopefully he'll be able to get that Panzer IV out and equalize this game. We do have the rapid conscription available now for Talisman. He uses it. So where's his all-ins coming in at? It might be down here in the south. But every single fight now for the next minute is building up a queue for free conscript squads, converting his munitions into manpower. So we'll see how this goes. Tier 4 firing into the Volks. He's trying to use it to farm up a free conscript squad, and he does. He succeeds. Does he get a wipe, however? There's a Panzer IV. But he gets a free squad from the munitions. Nice play there from Talisman to utilize that Tier 4 to get the free squad back. T-70 might not pick up the kill. Oh! Tried to find another shot. Con squad goes down in the middle, but it's immediately replaced by just as the rapid conscription wears off. So no real losses, Tavarish. T-70 chasing down this Volk squad. This Volk squad, if it clumps up again, might die, but the T-70 not interested in it. Panzer IV about to hit the field. And I wonder if he's going to use that to cap the South VP. It looks like he is. Great to see you again of the secure mode from Vet 1. It's also the Vet 1 ability for the T-3476, the KV-1. And I think that's it. I don't think the KV-2 gets it or the KV-8. But I wouldn't doubt it because the Vet's so bad for Soviets on their vehicles. Panzer IV is out, so Von has a little bit of breathing room now, and he has another Goliath, the fourth one, so 400 munitions dedicated to that. PM-41 still trying to lay the smackdown on that. Is Vet 1 has flares available to it, so could potentially spot out that little Goliath, but the PM-41 is going to retreat straight away with the Panzer IV pushing up onto that cutoff, and now the Panzer IV is interested in contesting into this T-70. There is a stolen Raketin that he handed away up here, so this is going to be a snare with that Raketin shot, not penning, maybe not. He did queue it up and lets it go anyway, so the snare will not come through, and the Raketin, nice attack round attempt through the building, but it does eat the shot there, and another one not quite connecting the way that he would like to. Meanwhile, up in the north, VonIvan getting all the way up in through and capping the munitions again, which he really needs as he keeps making Goliaths. I wonder if the IS-2 or the ISD-152 gets Vet 1 secure mode. I'm sure, I think the IS-2 actually does. Either way, Panzer IV. If it connects, Gets 2 models. I'm surprised. He might be expending his RNG now, chasing down this squad. Oh, and a Goliath goes down and gets shot, and the Ura runs away. But here comes the Panzer IV, throwing it as hard as he can, drives right into his Zis gun, and that should be dead, especially with the Raketin right up in the church here. Yeah, that's assuredly dead. Nice shot, but the Panzer IV was short-lived. He lost a Volk squad during this as well. And this gun, not quick enough on the aim time. The Raketin's going to come over here and deal with this, I'm sure. Finally get the last shot. PM41 even firing a shot at this. And the Raketin shoots into the wall. And, oh, I thought that was the GG called there with that lag, but it is not. But the Panzer IV goes down. Have we gotten the Tier 4? We do have the Tier 4 down for Talisman. So the T-3476 spam is upon the horizon. And there's the first one on the way to the front lines. However, with this, he is contesting his opponent's fuel, so he's going to get rid of it a little bit. Again, the Raketin just caught out completely alone, and the T-70 could chase this. Like, he could easily chase this and kill it, and he does. He doesn't even have to move. He just kills it. He's just giving away these Raketins, and this is the reason that Von is having a hard time with his match, is just because he's given away 2 Raketins now to Soviets of all people, and he can't even. Oh my God! He tries to crew it. Look at all that manpower bleed. He almost lost the Volk squad for that. So the T-70 will sit here and just hold on to that, and that's his only 18. There's a T-3476 coming now. If you thought the T-70 was annoying with its 32 kills, just wait till the T-3476 is allowed to run around the map with no answer at all. And he's building Obers. It looking like Von has lost this game. He has no answer to the armor from Talisman. Stern Pioneers getting annihilated. We'll go head home. T-70 more than capable of dealing with everything that's here. I really don't know how VonIvan bounces back outside of another Panzer IV. But even then, it might be too late. He's fighting into 2 Raketins. He's still guarding it. Volk squad. He's just baiting it. The Volk squad coming up, trying to grab it. The stolen Maxim hanging out here. Going for the snare. And then a retreat. Does he get wiped? He does not. The stranglehold's just too real. And there's the T-3476, and Von says, enough of that. There's no way my Tier 4 is even going to live for the Panzer IV now because I have no AT. And calls in the tile, or calls it in regardless, and lost on his own map yet again. But GG, this one was a little bit better. We got to see some body parts fly into some hay over here, and we'll go ahead and get on into the next one. For those of you on the rerun or on the YouTube, hope you enjoy the cast, and we'll see you next time.